Hi, fourth grade, and welcome back. Today we are on Module 1, Lesson 12. While we've been working on addition, today we're going to be solving two-step word problems. So we're going to be able to solve multi-step word problems using the standard addition algorithm that we worked on yesterday, modeled with tape diagrams, and then we're going to assess the reasonableness of answers using rounding. Now, those are a lot of big words, assess the reasonableness. What this means is we're going to round the numbers to see if we're close to our answer and see if it makes sense. When we start working with really big numbers, we have to kind of think if what we solved truly does make sense for what it could be when we round. We're going to do this so that we can use addition to solve real-world problems and scenarios, and we're going to know we're going to be successful today when we solve the word problems using the tape diagrams with addition and then writing our answers as a statement. And then we'll also know by checking with our reasonableness with rounding if we're very close to our answer. Okay, we are going to start off with a fluency practice today because we can never practice rounding enough. So we're going to round this number. We're going to do it to the nearest 100,000 first. So here's our number, 726,354. Now, when we count over, we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Okay, so we're going to round to our 100,000 place value first. So we're going to create our line here. And here is my midpoint. So we have to think, what 200,000s is this number between? Well, with it being the 700, we know that our bottom part is going to be 700,000. Well, the next 100,000 up would be 800,000. That means our midway point is going to be 750,000. So now we have to decide, does this 726,354 fall below our midway point or above our midway point? Well, 726,000, when we know how to compare numbers, is going to fall below. So it would fall about right in here, 726,354. So when we look at which 100,000 it's closer to, we know it's going to be closer to our 700,000. So that means this is about equal to, and that's what those lines mean. It means about equal, it rounds to 700,000. Okay, we're going to do this process again, but just to the thousands place this time. Because what I see a lot in fourth grade is that we're used to rounding to like our tens or our hundreds, but when we start using these bigger numbers, we start to get confused on where to round to. So we're going to round to our thousands place value this time. So again, we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and that's really where I'm stopping. So here is this. Now, I shouldn't say stopping because then what I've seen in the past is that my students only round this 6,000. We don't lose this 720 that starts there. So what I mean by that is I'm going to draw my lines again. There's my midway point. So my 720 stays the same. This 6 is telling me that it's going to be between 726,000 and then 1,000 up from the 6 is going to be 727,000. Now what we have to check is our midway point, so 726,500. This midway point is just to help us decide if it's closer to this 1,000 or to this 1,000. So when I start to look at this number, 726,354. Well, this 354 would help it fall below again. So 726,354, which means that our numbers would round to 726,000. You don't lose that 720, but everything after the place value that you round to is always a 0. So this number that comes right after whatever you're rounding to is also a little tidbit of help. I always say 0 through 4, you stay on the floor, meaning you stay at your lower number that's here on your line. 5 through 9, you climb the vine. So if this number was a 5 through 9, that means you're going to round up to your higher number on your number line. Okay, we're going to move into our first multi-step word problem. So multi-step means just that. We're going to have more than one step to help us solve this math problem. So if you stop after one step, just know that you need to go back, reread, and resolve the problem. Okay, we're going to start the RDW process. So read, draw, write, meaning I'm going to start with reading this problem to you, and then we're going to make a tape diagram from it. So the city flower shop sold 14,594 pink roses on Valentine's Day. They sold 7,857 more red roses than pink roses. How many pink and red roses did the city flower shop sell all together on Valentine's Day? And it says use a tape diagram to show your work. Okay, so we read it. We need to go back through, highlight, underline, find some important key details. So we know there are 14,594 pink roses. Now here it says 7,857 more, meaning it's not just that many, red roses than pink roses. Now it says how many is kind of a keyword, pink and red roses did the city flower shop sell all together? All together is that ding, ding, ding keyword that we're going to find that says to add. So we have part of a tape diagram made here. I'm actually going to add on to it. So I'm going to start here with the pink. Actually, I'll put my pink down here. Okay, so my pink, I'm going to label that here. And my red, I'll put here. So pink roses and red roses. So pink roses, we know for sure they had 14,594 that were sold on Valentine's Day. Now, it says they sold 7,857 more red roses. So that means they already sold the 14,594 red roses plus an additional 7,857. Now, just this portion, we need to find out the red roses. We have to go back and find out what the question is truly asking us. It says, how many pink and red roses did the city flower shop sell all together on Valentine's Day? Meaning I'm actually going to have to add up all of the numbers that we have. So let's go ahead and solve for our red roses first. So we have 14,594 plus the additional 7,857. Now, in my classroom, I still usually like to draw this on our place value charts. That way we make sure our ones are lined up and our tens and our hundreds, thousands, 10,000. If that helps you, always create it, always draw it, because you want to make sure. That's a really big mistake that I see it happen often. So make sure you always line up your ones place value. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding up my numbers from the ones column first. So 7 plus 4 is 11. So I'm going to drop my 1 and cash in my 1 on the other side. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus my 5 is 15, meaning I'm going to leave my 5 and I'm going to carry my 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. 8 plus 6, 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. I'm going to leave my 2, carry my 1, and my 1 plus 1 is 2. So I have 22,451. That was my first step. I'm going to label it. These are just my red roses. Okay, so we aren't done because we know it's a multi-step word problem. They wanted us to find all together. So I'm going to add the original amount of pink roses. And again, I'm checking. My ones are lined up, my tens, my hundreds, my commas are lined up, and all the way through to make sure that I'm adding correctly. And I'm going to always start in my ones column over here. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So I'm going to leave my 0, cash in my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 4 is 7, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 37,045. Okay, so this is all of our roses. Now, we are working on a word problem. So in a word problem, we always want to make sure that we read the question and then we write it as a statement. So I'm actually going to change my color to this purple and I'm going to write our answer as a statement. So I'm going to write the flower shop sold 37,045 roses on Valentine's Day. This helps us make sure we're checking what the question was truly asking us, as well as helping us restate the question to make sure it's answered and that your teacher can find your answer well. So we read, we drew, and we wrote out that answer. So we are finished with that first problem. On to the next one. So step 2, again, we're going to check this, or we're going to solve it. And this time we're going to check reasonableness by rounding. So on Saturday, 32,736 more bus tickets were sold than on Sunday. On Sunday, only 17,295 tickets were sold. How many people bought bus tickets over the weekend? Use a tape diagram to show your work. Okay, so again, I'm actually going to add on down here again. Sorry, it's not perfect. Okay, so this one's going to be Saturday. This one is going to be Sunday. Okay, so this time it says there was 32,736 more bus tickets sold on, sold on Sunday. So you have to read it carefully, on Saturday. So that's telling us that we're going to have the same amount, but Saturday had an extra 32,736. Sunday, only 17,295 tickets were sold. 17,295. So it says how many people bought bus tickets over the weekend. So this is again going to solve our Saturday. And then overall, we need to find out how much was sold for the entire weekend. So we need to find Saturday, how many bus tickets were sold first. So I'm going to start with the greater number on top. 32,736 plus our 17,295. I'm sorry, I should go and highlight some of these things. So on Saturday, more bus tickets sold than on Sunday. On Sunday, only 17,295 tickets were sold. How many people bought tickets over the weekend? So we have to know all of that verbiage. Okay, I'm going to start again in my ones column. They're all lined up, so we're good to go. 6 plus 5 is 11. 9 plus 3 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. So I'm going to leave my 3, cash in my 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Leave your 0, carry your 1. 7 plus 2 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I forgot to put. Oh, that's what happens if you don't get everything lined up. There we go. I was on the right place, but this is supposed to be here. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And then 3 plus 1 is 5. So this 50,031 is just equal to Saturday's tickets. So now I need to come in, because the question asks how many bus tickets were sold over the entire weekend, and add in Sundays. So 17,295. 5 plus 1 is 6. 9 plus 3 is 12. So leave my 2, carry my 1. 2 plus 0 plus 1 is 3. There is my comma. I'm going to leave it there and make sure I don't get messed up this time. 7 plus 0 is 7. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So our answer should be this for the weekend. Before we write out our statement, we're going to check reasonableness. just to see and make sure that our answer is close. So what we're going to do is round to the nearest 10,000. So if we have 17,295, when we round that, and here I am, that answer is going to be between 10,000 or 20,000. We're going to see which one's closer. Right here is going to be 15,000. With that 17,000, that's going to be rounded up to 20,000. So these two are about 20,000. About 20,000. And then we're going to round our 32,736. So 32,736. Again, I'm going to round it to my nearest 10,000. So again, 10,000's place value. So our number is going to be between 30,000 and 40,000, with my midpoint being 35,000. As you can see here in the thousands place, that 32 is going to round down to 30,000. So that means this is about 30,000. So when we take those and we add them up, so we add up 30,000 plus 20,000, we're going to get 50,000. And that would be close to Saturday. And if we look over here, Saturday was 50,031. So we're really, really close when we're rounding. And now we're going to add in Sundays. So another 20,000 approximately. And our answer here is 70,000. And what the answer that we got was 67,326. And I would say that that's pretty close. We're only a couple thousand off, meaning that we're really close. And so I think our answer is pretty accurate. So that's the reason why we round, to just check reasonableness. So now that we've checked them, we're going to write this as a statement. So we're going to say 67,326 people bought bus tickets over the weekend. That way we have gone through our entire RDW process of reading, drawing, and writing it out. Okay, now the next part is all on you guys. You're going to, on your exit ticket, model the program with a problem with a tape diagram, solve, and then make sure you write your answer as a statement. So make sure you go through the entire process, reading the question carefully, because these all are multi-step. Draw it out with your tape diagrams and write it as a statement at the end. Thanks, guys. I can't wait to see you again soon.